You've been working hard, staying consistent, but somehow it still feels like nothing is changing. What if everything you've been chasing is actually the thing holding you back, not your goals, not your dreams, not even your ambition, but the way you're chasing them? Because most people are obsessed with outcomes, the money, the body, the status, the recognition, the one-day moment when everything finally clicks. And it feels right, doesn't it? That's how success is supposed to work. You struggle, you grind, you sacrifice, and then someday you arrive. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells you. That arrival moment, it's a myth. Because the people who actually win in life, the ones who build unstoppable confidence, wealth, discipline, peace, they're not obsessed with the outcome. They're obsessed with a feeling they choose every single day before anything happens. And that changes everything. Think about it. Why do you want success? Is it really about money, or is it the feeling of freedom? Why do you want that dream body? Is it really about appearance? Or is it the feeling of confidence? Why do you want recognition? Or is it the feeling of being valued? See, you've been trained to chase the thing, but what you're actually craving is the emotion behind it, and here's where most people get stuck. They delay the feeling. They tell themselves, I'll feel confident when I look better. I'll feel happy when I make more money. I'll feel proud when people finally notice me. But that's backwards. Completely backwards. Because if you can't generate the feeling now, you won't be able to hold on to it later. Let that sink in. The outcome doesn't create the feeling. The feeling creates the outcome. That's why you see people who achieve everything and still feel empty, and others who seem calm, confident, magnetic before anything big even happens, because they've mastered something most people ignore. They've become quietly obsessed with the feeling, not the outcome, and that obsession, it's different, it's silent, it doesn't need validation. It doesn't announce itself on social media. It doesn't beg for attention. It just shows up every day, consistently. Because when you're obsessed with the feeling, you don't need motivation. You become it. You don't wait to feel confident. You walk into the room like you already belong. You don't wait to feel disciplined. You move like someone who doesn't negotiate with excuses. You don't wait for life to change. You change. And life follows. And here's the crazy part. When you start doing this, results come faster. Not because you're forcing them, but because you're aligned with them. Think about the version of you who already has everything you want, the confident one, the focused one, the respected one. How do they feel on a random Tuesday morning? Not when they're winning, not when celebrating, but on an ordinary day. That's the feeling you need to study. That's the feeling you need to practice. That's the feeling you need to become obsessed with. Because success isn't built in big moments. It's built in quiet ones, the ones nobody sees, the ones where you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, growth over excuses. And no one claps, no one notices, No one validates you. But you still show up. That's where the shift happens. And most people miss it. Because they're too busy looking at the scoreboard. Too busy checking results. Too busy comparing timelines, while the ones who win, they're locked in, focused hakam, almost detached from the outcome, because they know something you don't. They know the outcome is inevitable, if the feeling is consistent. So instead of asking, how do I get there faster? Start asking, how do I feel like that person today? Because the moment you shift that question, everything changes. Your habits change, your energy changes, your standards change, and suddenly, you're not chasing success anymore. You're attracting it. And here's where it gets even deeper. When you become obsessed with the feeling, you become dangerous, because now, rejection doesn't shake you, failure doesn't stop you, delays don't frustrate you, because your identity isn't tied to results anymore. It's tied to who you are, regardless of results. That's power. Real power. And most people never reach it, because they're addicted to proof. They need to see something before they believe it. But the truth is, you have to believe it before you ever see it, and that belief, it's not loud, it's not flashy, it's quiet, it's internal. It's a decision you make again and again, when no one is watching. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been putting in effort but not seeing results, if you've been questioning yourself, maybe it's not your work ethic, maybe it's not your strategy, maybe you're just focused on the wrong thing. Shift your obsession from outcome to feeling, from result to identity, from one day, today, and watch what happens, because the moment you stop chasing and start embodying, you become the person who can't be ignored, not because you're loud, but because you're aligned, and alignment is what creates unstoppable momentum. Now here's the part most people skip: consistency. Because anyone can feel motivated for a day. Anyone can feel confident for a moment. But can you hold that feeling? When nothing is working yet, when progress is slow, when doubt creeps in, that's the test. That's where 99% quit. And that's exactly why the 1% win. So don't rush this. Don't try to force results. Don't keep checking if it's working. Just stay locked in on the feeling every day, quietly, relentlessly, because one day, without even realizing it, you'll look around, and everything you once chased will already be yours, and it won't feel shocking. It won't feel surreal. It'll feel normal, because you became that person long before it happened. And if this message hit you at the right time, if something inside you just clicked, then don't ignore it, because moments like this, they change lives. So subscribe right now, not just for more videos, but as a commitment to yourself, that you're done chasing outcomes and ready to become the person who attracts them. And trust me, once you make that shift, there's no going back.